So before I get into this first fact, I just want to mention that Kalpas are cycles of time, and the current Elder Scrolls timeline lies in one singular Kalpa. With that said, in the previous Kalpa, it is said that Molag Bal was the chief of the Dreg. The Dreg back then was so much more powerful, and they essentially ruled the world. The Dreg now can be encountered in-game in Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Elder Scrolls Online, and they're so much less dominating than the kin that came before. If Yulin Greymane dies, fellow blacksmith Adrian Evanici and his wife Freyla Greymane will both change their responses to the question, best blacksmith in Skyrim. Adrian will change hers too. I don't claim to be the best smith in Whiterun. Yulin Greymane was that and more, and now he's dead. All I ask is for a fair chance. Whereas Freyla will change her response to, curse you for bringing up that bitter memory. Not long ago it was my husband Yorland. There was no finer smith than 9 Holds. Now he's dead and gone, and the Skyforge of Yovaskir lies cold. Ysolda mentions a theory regarding the strange purple tree at the Sleeping Tree camp. She says it comes from a spore from the floating island known as Umbriel. This is actually a reference to the Infernal City novel written by Greg Keyes. Just to mention, this novel is about a floating city founded by Umbra. The floating city is said to have originated from Oblivion. Also, the strange sap that the Sleeping Tree produces has a peculiar purple glow, similar to the purple glow from the sword known as Umbra. The land of Atmora is a supercontinent north of Tamriel. It's theorised to be the original homeland of the Nords, including Ysgramor, but now it's a cold, desolate wasteland, and it's no longer habitable. This is due to its cold conditions and harsh weathers. By the time of the Oblivion Crisis, which occurred in the Third Era, year 433, the Nerevarine is rumoured to be on an expedition to Akavir, which is a supercontinent east of Tamriel. Some theories suggest they went there to simply escape the influence of the Empire, whilst others believe they went there to mitigate any potential hostilities due to Tamriel being in a weaker state by the late Third Era. Pelennor Whitestrake is the main reason as to why the Alessian forces were able to overthrow and defeat the Ayleid overlords. Pelennor stormed into the Ayleid capital and was ambushed by the champion of Ayleids, Umriel the Unfeathered, as well as his forces. Not only did Pelennor force his forces into retreat, but he also defeated Umriel in a 1-to-1 duel. Pelennor then mocked and laughed at the elves and their heritage. This caused the remaining forces to jump on him and attack him. They then cut him into 8 pieces in desecration of the 8 divines. Before I get into this next fact, I just want to mention that the Merithic era happened just before the First Era, and it lasted for around 2,500 years. With that said, the ideal masters were originally necromancers from the Merithic era. They accumulated souls to trade with weaker individuals. In time, they ascended to a non-physical form using soul energy, and they eventually carved out a realm known as the Soul Cairn. They now currently present themselves as large soul gems within their respective realm. There's a theory regarding Arkay's origins. The theory says he was once a mortal man who was dedicated to understanding the cycle of life and death, but despite his dedication, he soon became limited by his mortality. Mara, the goddess of love, one of the 9 divines, pitied him and granted him godhood to further grasp the cycle. The first dragon ever mentioned in the Elder Scrolls series is Thurthokan. He was originally mentioned in Arena and even made an appearance in Elder Scrolls Online. Thurthokan made his lair in the Dwemer city of Arkenzafan's Thing after driving out the Dwemer there. After he died, his skeleton was resurrected by a necromancer who goes by the name of Orin the Black. Orin the Black used another animal's soul to control Thurthokan's dead body, but after Orin passed, he transported his own soul into the skeleton. Fallout 4 and Skyrim share the same game engine called Creation. There were actually plans to have a quest in Fallout 4 where the children of Salem would develop magic powers via radiation, and the rival town of Danvers would persecute them. This would all use Skyrim's code. Unfortunately, this quest was completely cut due to the code for magic eventually being removed.
And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one.